So we're looking at the problem. Ryan makes 6 book bags. He uses 3/4 of a yard of cloth to make each book bag. What is the total amount of cloth in yards Ryan uses to make all 6 book bags? So this is going to require us to use addition, only because we haven't learned how to multiply a fraction yet. So the best way that I would suggest you solve this is you start by drawing 6 book bags. So once we have our 6 book bags, okay, what I would suggest to do is to add 3/4 into each one. So 3/4 and 3/4 and 3/4, 3/4 and 3/4. Okay, so from here we need to add each one of these book bags. Alright, so we know that when we add a fraction that our denominator always stays the same exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of addition in my head. I'm going to skip count by 3s so that way I can find my numerator. So I know 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. This gives me 18/4. Alright? So I know that he used 18/4 of yard of cloth to make these 6 book bags. But I need to turn this into an improper fraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 18 dots. Now that I have my 18 dots, I know that I need to put them in groups of, that's correct, 4. So there's a group, there's a group, there's a group, and there's a group. So I see that I have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, with 2 left over, and my denominator is still 4. So, the first part of my question asked me, what is the total amount of cloth in yards Ryan uses to make all 6 book bags? 4 2/4 yards. That would be my final answer. Alright, so this next part gets a little bit tricky. It says, how many inches would it take to make all 6 book bags? So we know that we had 4 2/4 yards, but we need to convert this to inches. Now, what you also need to remember is that we cannot just go straight from yards to inches. We have to go yards to feet to inches. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with just my whole number. I know that 4 yards equals blank feet. Okay, so I'm going from a large to a small, so this tells me I need to multiply. So I'm going to do 4 times, well, how many feet are in 1 yard? That's correct, 3. So I'm going to do 4 times 3, which tells me that 4 yards is equal to 12 feet. Okay, but I need to get from feet to inches. So I'm going to do 12 feet equals blank inches. Well, here we go. I'm going from feet to inches, so now I'm going from a large to a small. So that means I'm going to multiply 12. Well, how many inches are in 1 foot? That's correct, 12. 12 times 12 is 144. So just in this whole number right here, we have 144 inches. But then we need to figure out this part. So I'm going to start with 2/4 of a yard. Alright, so this is going to require a little bit of thought. I know that in 1 yard there's how many feet? That's correct, there's 3 feet. So 2/4 is the same thing as 1/2. So what is half of 3? That's correct, 1.5 feet. So, and 1/2 of a yard is 1.5 feet. But then I need to get to inches. Well, I know that in 1 foot there's 12 inches, and if there's half of a foot, that would be 6 inches. So 12 plus 6 would be 18 inches. Now, the final step is to take these two numbers and add them together. 144 plus 18. 4 plus 8 is 12. 1 plus 4 plus 1 is 6. And then bring down our 1. There are 162 inches that it took to make these 6 book bags.